right. All right. Okay. Okay. We are here. I feel like I've got everything going. I am on time. I'm on time, okay? Let me just make sure I've opened the chat. Okay. Got it. And if you show up and want to share with me where you're from, how you're feeling, what's going on in your head right now. Don't ask me questions about anything you see in the background. You can. It's just I don't know if you're gonna like that my answers are sufficient. They might not be sufficient enough for you. You know what I mean? But you know what? Just come through, say hi, interact, okay? And I will get us started here. Yes, it is a 12 o'clock live. And yes, at 11:45, somebody calls me. I had some other things that are going on. Hi, hello, how are you today? All right, so where are we today? We are on the last bit of shadow work that we will be doing for this session, okay? So that's where we are. If you come through and you want to go shadow working with me, okay? Today is the day we're actually doing some work, okay? So today is the day. So I would say leave a comment, tell me your name, and then let's go with where your question is lying, like as far as shadow work goes, okay? So if you have just like a general question, don't ask me what is shadow, okay? Don't ask me why do I need shadow, because those questions were answered in the last 2 weeks, okay? This has been going on now for 3 sessions in a row, okay? This is our 3rd time. I've devoted 3 metaphysical Mondays to shadow, to working the shadow, and to taking that shadow and transmuting it into such a way that we turn our shadow, our shit, right, into success, into lovely stuff, okay? And so that's where we are now. So yes, leave a message, let me know, leave a comment, and we can go from there. Oh, shoot, yes, let me make sure I have turned on my, we're on do not disturb mode now, okay? And I will kind of give the housekeeping, all right? My name is Asia. Yes, I am a real doctor. No, I'm not that kind of doctor, but we discovered a couple of weeks ago, I will go with doctor of soul, a soul doctor, right? And what I've been doing is devoting my Mondays now for, I don't know, since maybe February. I've been devoting my Mondays to this act of devotion where I just go live and I basically discuss what's on my mind. And those were like the authentic creatrix modes. So you'll see them on the YouTube. They're there. I'm kind of leaving them there because I need something that shows me how I've grown. All right. They're kind of messy. They're all over the place. I just talk about shit. Okay. But sometime in the more recent distant past, right? The more recent past, I decided that I was going to make this a little bit more structured, right? Calling it Metaphysical Mondays, okay? Because I'm a metaphysician, right? Not a real physician, a metaphysician, okay? And then I was going to go through and explore some topics. So we've been going on real topics for a while now. You can, again, go to the YouTube page and explore. They're there, all right? When I am not here doing this with you guys and taking time in my act of devotion to talk metaphysical and spiritual stuff, I am indeed full time, pretty much, um, a spiritual guide, an energy, and a sound healer. So that's what I do in my free time, which I guess free time whenever I'm not with you guys. Okay, so that is me. All right. I am in West Palm Beach, and I do private sessions in West Palm Beach. I do online virtual guidance, divination, divine path readings. I'm trying to think of other things that I do online. People kind of just call me about random stuff. So I do those things virtually, okay? And if you needed to find me, if you really wanted to find me, you can, okay? Because I leave my email everywhere. But not only that, I leave the website everywhere. And you can basically, my calendar, go in, find an open booking, book it, and then we end up talking. So that's what I do. Aside from that, I am an artist. Um, I create things because I need to have things going. Okay. And if you looked at my most recent YouTube video, it is a little bit different, but it is relative because I have now undertaken this new grand series of projects that are going to basically help me to create the space that I need in order to do my private practice here easier. We're going to go with that. All right. So that's me. All right. I think that that's all that you really need to know about me. Okay. I will kind of go into a little bit more about me, but that's if you guys don't tell me about you. Okay. So I would like to know this time about you. We have been working shadow work. Oh, wait, hold on. One more thing. I got the ADHD, I know. But one more thing. I have sound baths this Sunday. I forgot to say that part. If you're in West Palm Beach, join me on Sunday. Sound baths for November, the 17th, and I think the 24th or something like that. All of that is on the calendar, the big calendar on my website. You can find all of the information for there. Sound baths are by donation. These community sound baths that I do, they're by donation. I just like doing them. Okay. So yeah, join me for that. And I think now that is everything. I think that's everything now. That's everything now. I remember request the ability to just come back and just start blabbing out more things that are going on in the future. Yes. So now back to shadow work. We did part one. Part one, let me just make sure I check my notes. Part one, we discussed, hold on. Part one, we discussed what is the shadow. We discussed why we need the shadow. Okay. Part two, we went into the deeper portions of our emotional depth and our unresolved traumas. All right. Our unresolved wounds, the things that have happened and what that could mean and how that could present in the shadow realm. All right. Part three now, we are on getting it out. Okay. Getting it out, making it work for you, because it doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong. You know what I mean? Just because you've got some issues, and we all have issues, okay? The problem comes when you have the issue and then you decide to just keep the issue and tell everybody else that we all have to deal with you and your issue, as opposed to maybe growing and learning to transmute your issue into something better. That's really where the problem comes. But, outside of that, I just want to make sure that I have all of my notes open. And so I have to go in and find my notes. But outside of that, we all have issues. We were all given an obstacle that we have to overcome, at least one, right? I'm one of those people who believes that we choose to go in on our journey here. Where is it? Okay, there we are. Yeah. That we choose to go in on our journey. We jump in and we're like, I want to learn this and this and this on this version, right? So we kind of go in, but you can't learn this and this and this without having the obstacles, without having the wound, without having the antagonist, right? Every protagonist needs an antagonist, right? We talk about this in with the universal law of the universal law of non-polarity, of polarity, right? That for everything good, there is a bad, there is balance, right? And that balance is what makes everything function. Okay, things are never out of balance. All right, when they're out of balance, it really just means we can just lift back up on this side, right? If it's like the teeter totter is like this and it just stays like this, we just push more back on that side, right? So that's where we are. And the shadow in our teeter totter, right, is the darker part. So shadow is something I'm just digging into slowly for myself. Hi, B, by the way. Good morning, B. Good afternoon, B. I'm curious in my day how to notice it and work it to my benefit. And B, that is why we are here today. Okay. So we do all have a shadow, right? And let me see. I'm going to show that one. Yeah. So we do all have a shadow. Everyone does. Okay. Once we've acknowledged it, and we talked about that in first and second version of what we're doing here. We talked about that in parts 1 and 2. We acknowledge the shadow. We find the shadow. I gave some ways. Hey, Rose, how you doing? I gave some ways for us to find those shadow elements, right? Maybe because you may feel like you don't know that you have them, but I gave us some ways to find them astrologically, how to find them, maybe looking through your childhood, how to find them, things that mirror. We have that mirror. So things that you find in other people that annoy out of you, easy ways, easily a sign of something that is a shadow for yourself. Okay. Now what we're going to do is work them to our benefit, and that's what's most important. So if B, since you are giving me energy today, if you would like to go in a little bit in a detail, as much detail as you want, okay, with, let's see, because you say you're slowly looking into it for yourself and how you want to work it for your benefit. So maybe an example of something that you feel could possibly be a shadow element for you, or something that you're maybe having some struggle with identifying how we can transmute it. And just put that in and we can go from there. But let's see. So we're going to talk about transmuting our shadows into strengths. I'm going to give you some strategies. I really wanted to be able, hey Raider, I really wanted to be able to use actual personal examples, because a lot of what we do in life can just be talk, right? And I don't mind using my own personal examples if that is something that you guys are into. But honestly, I don't think this is about me. And I don't think that this is something where, you want to spend your lunchtime talking about my issues. I have my issues, right? Like, I know what I got. But maybe if this is something where you want to put in something for yourself, something that maybe you've been struggling with, something that you have questions about, is this shadow, maybe it's not, how do we work it, then yeah, and that's what I wanted to do today. Let's see. I did use, and I will go back to, I did use the example during my deep dive into Chiron. Okay, Chiron being a good way of finding those soul wounds is by looking through your Chiron. I talked about that in, I don't know, go find the Chiron stuff, right? For those who are just like, I am perfect, I have no shadow, I am all light. The biggest, like the people with the biggest lights on them tend to have the biggest shadows in the back, and they're just not noticing them sometimes. But so I tried to give some different ways, some different means of finding those shadow. Okay, but during that Chiron discussion, I talked about Beyonce. And so if you guys don't give me if you do not give me something to go off of in order to talk to you, about something that maybe is more aligned with you, we might end up talking about Beyonce. And I don't mind. I don't mind talking about Beyonce. I don't mind talking about Beyonce because why? She is one of those people, and it happens with artists. You can tell artists who, Taylor Swift is also one, but you can tell artists who have found that shadow, um, embraced it, and are moving forward with that shadow. Dennis Rodman is another one. Like, people think that, Kanye, he's another one. I know it's a lot of childhood and voice, like how I present. Okay, is your voice, like, I don't know you, so you're gonna have to tell me, is your voice, are you presenting with some sort of anger? Are you presenting with some sort of fear? Um, we talked about this in the last session, the last week's, about the four different type of voices that end up coming through, the dramas that can come through as described in the Celestine Prophecy, which has become one of my favorite books. The interrogator, the intimidator, the aloof, and the poor me are four ways. It's oh okay. Oh, hello, Britt. Look, you just put B. I have no idea. I don't know who you are. But she said it's Brittany, bitch. Okay, so Chiron in the eighth house, same Z's, right? Also Beyonce, Chiron in her eighth house. Taylor Swift, Chiron in her eighth house. Johnny Depp, Chiron in his eighth house, right? We talked about that when we went over the Chiron series. You are in good company, girl. Okay. The only thing is, it's very hard, right? Because the wounds come around. I will get to you, Rose, one second, because the wounds with Chiron in the eighth house come around the presentation, the identity, the transformation of it all, right? That eighth house. And so we have like these the like our just traumas and stuff. It's like, so it's like saying my trauma is in my trauma house. You know what I mean? It can come in so many different ways. And so that becomes hard when you have that. One second, let's see. I've been having money mental issues. I don't know why I'm struggling with this now. I'm feeling, oh, Rose, look. So here's the thing, Rose. We have discussed this, okay? And then Raider says, I thought having these shadows was because of my complexion. Yes, babe. Yes. We can go with that. Your shadows are because of your complexion. I just don't. I don't think we're talking physical shadows. I think we're talking more emotional, unseen, subconscious shadows. And I don't know that I've ever actually seen you without, like, because you're always driving, Raider. So I don't know if I've actually seen you with like light on you. So I don't know. I think you just made that part up, but that was hilarious. See, I have a lot to say, and I'm confident internally, but in how I go out into the world. Okay. So here's the deal. We're gonna go with Brittany, then I will go with Rose. Okay. So let's start here. We had the Chiron in the eighth house. Because I know you, Brittany, and because I know a little bit more about you, because we've interacted a little bit. I would say that just knowing that, like, the how you present, it can be a little daunting. When you're saying like how you present, the shadow comes, and we discussed this before, but the shadow comes with the fear. Okay, so while I'm talking to Rose, I would like for you to consider that thing that you fear. Okay, and where, because your presentation sometimes feels interrogator, That's the word, interrogator. So your presentation sometimes feels interrogator, sometimes aloof. And I will tell you that it's likely because I also know your mom. When we have harder parents, sometimes we end up with that aloof, like, whatevs, I don't care, eh, whatever, that kind of presentation. But sometimes, because we have to fight back when we're just like too much, we end up in interrogator. Like, they're asking a question, you're asking the question, and that's just how you were, brought up. Let me ask these questions. I do not understand. You need to be, and we kind of interrogate until we create a situation almost of intimidation. So I'm going to talk to Rose, and I'm going to let you stir on that, and then I will come back to Brittany. Okay. Now, Rose, with the money, you being someone who is highly spiritual and knows how energy works. All right. So if we're going through the shadow elements when it comes to the fear, or the close to fear, because we don't want to put that on you, but the fear of the lack, right? Sometimes, many times, and I did discuss this, it goes back to the McDonald's money questions that our parents asked us. Now, I don't know, you may be, younger than me, and your parents did not ever ask you if you have McDonald's money. My parents ask me all the time if I had McDonald's money. You're sitting in the back seat, you see the McDonald's, and you're like, hey, I want McDonald's. And they're like, do you have McDonald's money? And it just little tiny seeds, like, do you have McDonald's money? Or, I didn't ask you for your opinion. Those can create a sense of scarcity within us. Also, many immigrant families also have that wound, that shadow of, I need to make sure I have enough. And so in making sure that they have enough, they bring back the that fear as children, like when we're watching this, like I'm watching my single mother, trying to figure out how she's going to pay bills, and so, there's the, I don't have enough. And that fear starts to creep in till we start making choices based off of scarcity or based off of that fear. So if we were going to flip that, transmute that, and know that that fear of scarcity is where the root is happening, right? It's like the shadow within us. We start to talk or speak. And I know you, Rose, you're not that type, because that the moment that we start thinking and aligning our thoughts with that scarcity mindset, we bring more energy, right? Because that's what we do. We throw energy. So we throw energy to that scarcity mindset. Okay. So what we're going to want to do, this is not a don't think about zebras moment. Okay. Because once I tell you don't think about scarcity, now you're thinking about scarcity. Okay. But what we're wanting to do is to constantly, consistently, and you know this, but I'm going to say it anyway, put our mind on what we want. Okay. So it's not the lack of money. We don't want the lack of money. That fear comes and we're like, ooh, I may run out of money. Now you're putting that energy on, I may run out of money, right? We're powerful beings. Once we put that out there, now here it is, growing, festering. We're watering this seed right here, okay? Instead, we want to put our energy, focus, intention on, I am the best damn tarot reader out there. People are throwing money at me. I have so many clients that I don't have enough room for them all. People ask me for my help daily. I have enough money in my account at any given time to be able to do whatever I need and or want to do. I am able and resourceful. I am able to find what I need, and the things that I need will always come to me. Good things always come to me, regardless of what the outside situation looks like. Does that make sense, Rose? Because I know you know this, so I'm like, but that's where we are going to go when we start looking at like a fear, especially a money thing. So now I'm not saying go and spend all your money, okay? But I am saying that asking the questions, how can I get through? Got it. Focus on what I want. I must. Yes, but you know this. But it's the asking the questions instead of saying I don't have enough. Blah blah blah. We start asking how can I make blah 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 happen. And I can give you an example because it's the example that I'm working through right now. Okay. I was renting a space from someone in order to do my private client work, right? And they were really nice about it, right? I still don't know how much I owe this person. I still don't know how much I owe them because they never actually asked me for the money. I just have the money and I'm like, okay, take the money when the time comes. They're going to come back and say, Asia, you owe me this much, and I'll be like, well, here, at least I have it because I had to keep it for, paying the rent on the space whenever I had a private client, right? So at first they would just take the money and then I would, rent the space. And then like the last 3 times, I don't know. I don't know what happened. They did not take the money. I kind of feel like it may be a blessing. Who knows, right? Because the money is there now and I can use it. But this last time, this weekend, I had a client, and this was like kind of a last minute because I have a 48-hour, window. Okay. And, so I had the client, trying to make the appointment for using the space to rent the space. Right. And it starts to feel like, oh, well, he's kind of giving the space to someone else because, he really has to make rent and, he has to make, income and the building has needs and, so this may have to be the last time that you're able to use this space this time, and I hope you understand. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, I get it. I mean, look, I'm not going to lie. You haven't asked me for the money for the last 3 sessions, but I get it because my little Peasley peas is not going to help keep your mortgage going on this huge building. I get it, So, instead of like getting upset by it or whatever, I started thinking, how can I find a space that is going to work for my needs? And it's crazy because the answer really was, I already have the space. Not here, guys. No, not here. Not here. Okay. I got dogs and stuff. I can't do it in here. Right. This is just my, but I do have the space. It was the she shed. Right. So if you know my area, I'm on a compound. I'm creating a compound. All right. I'm an urban homesteader, guys. I'm making up these words as I go. Just go with them. All right. Urban homesteader. Okay. So I have my house. I have a compound. Okay. And I was using my compound, like the she shed, as my creative space. So whenever I'm making all these things that you guys see and you're like, you're doing too much, they're coming there from the she shed. All right. And I was like, well, I could just turn the she shed into my space for making, for having my clients and practice, but then where am I going to put all this stuff that's in the she shed, right? Because I can't put it here. This is full. Okay, we're done. All right. So how am I going to make this happen? Now I'm looking at different listings, looking for, containers, looking for I'm having to deal with like the city of West Palm Beach and their code and zoning and everything, and then one day, like after I've made this appointment with this, the client, I'm sitting there. I wasn't even going to look at the posting, right? But I get free stuff listings. Guys, follow it, okay? Free stuff. That's the shit, okay? I'm not gonna lie, because what happens is I end up finding furniture and then I bring it back, I refinish it, and I sell it, right? But the free stuff, like they're just telling you, hey, here it is, come get it, right? And this free stuff listing was like free RV. And then it had these pictures, and it was an old, it's old, right? I don't even know what it is anymore, but it was this old RV, right? But the inside, y'all, you're gonna have to look at the YouTube video to believe me, but the inside of this RV was already set up. The person that had it before had a tattoo parlor, right? And they were just doing tattoos inside of the RV, okay? Long story short, because there is a YouTube video on it, you can go back and find it, all right? But long story short is I got the RV to my place. Now all I have to do is take the she shed, turn it into, throw it into the RV and turn the she shed into a practice space. I already have what I need, all right? Where am I going to get flooring from? I got flooring in my attic. Why? Because I'm one of those hoarder types and I have flooring in my attic. It's literally, I'm one of the walking epitome, type people of, I already have what I need, right? But sometimes we get scared, or we get like, hell, I've been scared now since I got this thing on my property. I'm like, oh shit, oh man, I did this now. Here, we in trouble. And I start backtracking, right? And that's my shadow. My shadow comes through with, I'm not good enough. And I should be seen and not heard. Those were, and sometimes money, but me and money, we're good. I've already figured out that I'm already going to have it, but sometimes money, because I don't have McDonald's money, right? That's what my mom told me. Right. But it's really the limiting belief of I'm not good enough, right? Which played out immensely this last week when I watched a Black woman who had every qualification necessary, including the experience, not get elected because some white guy just had I don't know, something about the price of eggs. I have no idea. It was insane. But that really worked me mentally. It was like it almost felt like a confirmation for me. I was like, you see, we as Black women are not enough. We are never enough. Like, I started almost internalizing that, and I had to take days off, like, to process, to go through, to say, what the hell am I talking about? I know what's going on here. I know this has nothing to do with anything except for hatred and bigotry, okay? Misogynoir, right? And it has nothing to do with whether I am good enough or not. You see? So that's what I had to work through, right? So there you go. That was mine. That's me working through it. But yeah, now I have a space. I got a space, and now I have another space so that I can see clients again. That's my example. I would say use your examples as you can. Okay, Britt, if you are still here, we are back on you. Did anything that I said or anything that Rose was discussing, did any of that resonate enough to where maybe you're able to see where your presentation is coming from as far as like the root cause of that presentation, for your shadow? Because if it does, then we can work it and I can help you work it through a little bit. Chink, chink, chink. So just let me know. I think that there is sometimes a lag. And I know that I'm at lunchtime, and so it does get kind of, crazy. But if Brittany comes back, then I will definitely get back with her. So what I just did there in Rose's example and in my example, all right, it seems like it's nothing. It seems like it's not something that will work for you. And if you heard what I said or what I mentioned to Rose, and you're like, bitch, that shit ain't gonna work, your shadow is there, lurking, telling you that it doesn't work. All right. But if you believe that it doesn't work, I am going to say you're right. You know what I mean? If you believe that it does work, I'm going to say you're right. Okay? Because the way that the shadow works, the way that our energy works, and the way that it has now been scientifically almost proven is that idea of, is that idea of objects, quarks, quantum, tiny particles, right? When they are watched, they will do what the observer thinks that they will do. All right. This is just how energy works. Okay. If you believe that whatever you are going through, that placebo effect, you're taking a pill and you believe that it is going to, work for you, you have a higher percentage of it working. Cancer patients, even now, if you notice, like if you go to like a cancer treatment center, they will not only have the chemo and the radiation, but they also have mindfulness, the psychological portion of it, the helping someone agree and believe that what they are going through is going to come out with a positive outcome. um the fighting of, like, through our bodies of attack, viruses and cancers that attack, breath work and the mindfulness that comes with it, the bowls that I play, all of that is put together to create the the field around you that brings, attracts, lets in what you allow. So when I'm telling you guys that you are a co-creator in this thing, that is exactly what I mean. You are co-creating. I can't have a client who comes to me for energy healing. The first 10 minutes of our discussion before we even get into the client on the table is me making sure and coming into agreement with the client that they are going to do their part. I can't just do it myself. I'm not a healer. I'm a channel, right? All I'm doing is helping you figure your shit out. You see what I'm saying? So, it's not like I'm sitting there and I'm, laying hands and I'm a healer. That's not what we do. All right. We are basically opening a channel, a communication, and showing you how to do it for yourself. Okay. So, did Brittany come through with anything additional? Okay, so between Brittany and Rose, if you have a question and you want a mini reading, I have my cards for a mini reading. I have 3 sets of cards today. I have the Solace Oracle that I've been working through, and I just like the art on them. I'm not gonna lie, I just like the art. Okay. But they give really good imagery. So I have the Solace Oracle. I also have my and Rose's favorite, the Light Seers Tarot. So this is an actual tarot deck. Okay. And I have an intuition deck, which is, for those of us who are working through our intuition and would like to have greater influence on our intuition. Okay. So just let me know. I'm going to put them all out here. I've played with them all. And now I'm going to go through and talk about just ways. Ooh, okay, we're going to, baby, come on. Now act right, baby. Act right. All right. I'm going to talk about ways that you can work through this on your own, okay? Because sometimes, we don't all have that friend who's going to sit there and talk to us in our good Scorpio voices and tell you where the obvious answers are, because we, as Scorpio types, can see you in your box, and we all know. We're like, hey, baby, you're talking yourself in, you're talking yourself out, you're talking yourself down, you're talking yourself up. You are doing this. The call is coming from within the building. Scorpios, we're able to do that. Also, Libras have that good energy, are very good at doing that. Sagittarius are the best. Now, Sagittarius will tell you and read you and let you know exactly that Sagittarius energy, not necessarily a Sagittarius. But that Sagittarius energy, that truth, that, this is what it is type energy, really, really good at that. Okay. So there you go. I've got all 3 decks there in the event. Now, there's no pressure. You don't have to ask a question. But because you interacted with me today, that is exactly what I will do. And that is what I do. I will also say that I'm thinking for future Metaphysical Mondays, I've been allowing or asking or inviting my newsletter subscribers to actually come on and be guests on and talk through the things like the topics. I feel like nobody did it because they were nervous. Okay, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next time. But if you join the email list, subscribe to the newsletter. I forgot what I even called it, like the Creatrix Connection or something. It was some shit like that. I don't even know. All right, but subscribe. It's on the website, and then you'll get like the invitation to be able to be a guest, and we can actually talk, right? Because it's kind of hard with just the comments. Okay. So while you guys are deciding whether or not y'all have questions, and the questions are open to anybody, you just like showed up and you have a question, okay? But Rose and Britt, definitely, you deserve to have, some type of question. So this last bit, how can we do this when somebody else is not giving us the talk, okay? And I'm going to start with the easiest way. The easiest way. And it's so cheesy that people think that it likely doesn't work, okay? But if you do it correctly, if you do it honestly, authentically, and if you go back and read what you've done, journaling, bro, okay? If somebody has a bunch of journals and they're being honest with their journals and authentic with their journals, they've been doing the work. They are working the process, okay? Their shadow, they got it. They're like, oh yeah, that's me. That's what I got. Okay, journaling. So I have a journal that I created. I didn't do that. I did it. That is on Amazon. It's the Spiritual Growth 21 Days of Finding You. That one is for spiritual growth. I'm talking journaling for the intent of working through shadow. Okay, so whereas spiritual growth, yes, light, fluffy, cool, I love God, God loves me, whatevs. Shadow work journaling. So I got this one just so I can show you. This is a workbook. Okay, but it's a workbook, but I promise you it's like a gajillion questions that you can ask yourself, talk through. Okay, this is not mine. This is by Victoria Stevens, okay? And I ordered this and went through just because I wanted to make sure that I was giving you guys something, a great day to set. Yes, it is. The 11/11 portal open. Okay, it's a great day to set your intentions. It's a great day to work through what you want to see happen, okay? It is speaking what you want as I am, as you are, right? Like, I have, I am, I, see, those, not the I will, don't do I will, okay? But I am, I have, those type of intentions, you know what I mean? Clearing out, taking time, and knowing I have it on my list. Like my birthday's this week. So typically around my birthdays when I do my vision board, I do my goals, and I set some intentions for the year. I haven't done it in a couple of years since my son was killed, but I've decided this year I'm doing it, right? Having your son killed, big shadow work, okay? I'm not going to lie. Because there was a lot of, am I sufficient enough as a mother? I'll put that one out there also. So when I'm telling you guys that I do ask myself the questions and I do the work, I really am, because my shadow is deep. The shadow is deep within this one. All right. So yes, the shadow workbook has so many. I was gonna just find, I think I did. I feel like oh, there we go. Yes, I did. All right. No, this wasn't these. Where were they at? I thought that I had marked off some questions that I can give you guys from this workbook, which again, not mine. Okay, there you are. Let's see. From this workbook. Okay, so I do want a pull, but I am not sure of a direction for a question because so much around me is fluid. Okay, you want something about love? You want something about career? Let's see. Okay, so we are in inner child prompts. Is there someone in your life to whom you can speak your truth? That's a good journal question, right? Because it lets you, oh shoot. All right. We dropped the world. Because it lets you start to feel the energies that are around you, the support that you have. And if your answer is no, there's your shadow, right? Let's see. I'm trying to find. Does your inner child feel shame? And is your child expressing any experiences that are unpleasant? What is your inner child in need of? A lot of the shadow work goes back to that inner. Oh, is that what it is? No, it goes back to that inner child. Are there certain types of people that make you uncomfortable? What habits have you picked up over the years that you would like resolved? What frightens and triggers you the most about people? That they breathe, that they exist, that people, let's see. So, Brittany, did you come through with anything? I can just give you a message, Brittany. I'm just going to give you a message. Let's see. I have a message for Brittany that she can use to move forward. You see how my cards have decided they did not want to shuffle? All right. So we're going to give Brittany a message that she needs. What does she need to know for today to move forward, maybe in the upcoming days, upcoming weeks? I will go finance and career. Okay, for her finance and career. Let's see. This for B. All right. This is literally, don't judge how I shuffle, okay? All right, the sun. You are getting, you have the sun in reverse, Britt. So the message is the amount of mistrust that you have in yourself and the things that you thought that you could do and that you have not done. You're finding it harder and harder to trust yourself. You're finding it harder and harder to shine that light that used to just be you and inherently you. You're finding it so much harder to just do that because you've allowed the shadows, the obstacles and the things that are in your life. You've allowed those things to kind of take the lead, okay? As opposed to allowing the obstacles to kind of just be obstacles. Like I mentioned at the beginning, our obstacles are just our obstacles and they're just a part of what teaches us the lesson. Instead of seeing the obstacles as a lesson, you're seeing the obstacles as the way, as what is, and not seeing your power and your ability to shine through, to learn from, to grow from those obstacles. When that comes to finance and career, then it's going to definitely stop you because the things that you know that you can do and the things that you know that you should do are the things that you are not doing. And I'm really trying, like I'm trying to, because I know you. The answers you have, like, you know the answers. You already know the answers. You're just not trusting that intuition. You're not trusting, and likely because you feel that failures have happened and that those failures are an indication of what really is. I'm going to say it like that. Okay. If that resonates, Britt, let me know. Let's see. I'd like a general message. Okay, reading for Rose is kind of hard because Rose read for me. Okay. I'm going to give a general message for Rose. Actually, because Rose has. I'm going to read an intuition message for Rose. Because Rose is my. I've kind of made Rose pulling the sun for business is wild, but I resonate. Well, it was the sun, but it was a sun in reverse, babe, because it could be the sun. You could be getting those yeses. You could be, but for whatever reason, you're stopping it. So yes, had that sun been up and happy and light and bright, I'd be like, go forward, do, but there's something that you are stopping. And so yes, pulling the sun for business is wild, but yeah, but you got the sun in reverse. You need to, you got to journal. You got to figure it out. Where are you stopping yourself? And sometimes the words that you say are stopping yourself. Do that shadow work. Figure out, is there something inside of you that maybe you've heard or been internalizing that now has you thinking that you were not worthy, you were not allowed, to go forward. Okay. Intuition for Rose, only because Rose is a reader. I'm not going to pull tarot for Rose. Perfect deck for me, the sun, true. I'm not acknowledging my blessings. Yeah, when you don't acknowledge them, then guess what you're getting? The thing is that when you don't see what you have, what you can do, that I already have everything that I need. That is so important. When we start seeing what do I have, when we start counting our blessings, that gratitude journaling, bruh, it changed my life, really, a lot of repetitive messaging to work on. Yeah, you gotta do that, Britt. Work on your programming there. That's what's going in, But yeah, when you start actually noticing, shit, I woke up this morning and nobody tried to pull my bed out from under me, I woke up this morning, I had a roof over my head, or I woke up this morning and I was exactly where I left myself last night. Nobody woke me up to tell me I had to move. That right there, pivotal, because that doesn't happen to a lot of people now, I woke up and everything was still here, right? that pivotal, you know what I mean? And the idea that once you start focusing on that, what you have, the how can I with what I have already, and you start focusing on the how can I with what I have and what do I have, right? Shit just starts appearing, right? You're like, oh, wait, I do have that. Why didn't I think about that? I could use that. You know what I mean? Get that gratitude journaling is highly important, all right, for Rose, I'm talking through Rose's reading. All right, slow down to center yourself, girl. I don't even know if you can see that. All right. I'm going to read here. Intuitive guidance is heightened, more accurate, and appears more often when life moves at a saner pace. Your sixth sense is less responsive when your energy is pulled in too many directions, rushing around, constantly multitasking, swamped by responsibilities. Slow your roll for better mystical attunement and to stretch time. Now, Rose, you know about how time works. Like we just made that shit up, right? The idea of slowing down, the idea of owning that time is just the construct that we've created as humans, right? I think that will help you even with your feelings right now of angst, and that almost fear around your money. I will say that because once you take time to slow, and even still while you are slowing down the time around you and just taking that time, you get to that landed, thank you. You get to see, right? You just take the time to drink water and see and feel and experience. You know how heightened intuition gets, right? You know that that will help you. And then for you specifically, especially as someone who uses intuition, as an intuitive business person, right? I feel like that will help you also with seeing that in the future, that the next step, that you have what you need right now, and that everything has been provided for you, and that Gaia, mother, Mother Earth, Pachamama is just here making sure that everything gets exactly what it needs. So why not for us too? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying for you. Let's see. Thank you. Perfect deck for you. The sun is true. Yeah, I don't know which one you're saying is a perfect deck for you, but this one is Awakening Intuition. I have been using this deck for a lot of my creatives, and sometimes for myself as well. I brought out the Solace Oracle because we were working Shadow today, but I don't know. I need somebody to tell me that it resonated anyway. And then of course my Light Seers Tarot. All right, guys, 56 minutes in. I think that we've got it. Do y'all have any questions? Anybody has a question? Okay. Um, I'm going to answer questions, but while I'm answering questions, let's just go over shadow. Everybody has. We all have one. Saying you don't have one is likely a result of because yours is huge and it's just looming and you just it's running rampant. Okay, yours is denial, likely. All right. Then the idea of finding where that nugget, that seed, that root ball of that shadow is, taking shape in our lives, because what we want to do is pull it out and then allow it to become basically a part of who we are. Okay. um which I think that people, do have a problem with it, letting your shadow be a part of who you are. But the opposite of letting your shadow be a part of who you are is a TD Jake situation, where you end up in, weird, weird, promiscuous, type situations. Are you on the Diddy tapes? Who knows? Because instead of, making those things, those thoughts a part of your life, and incorporating them and allowing them to help you with your future endeavors, you're hiding them. And that hiding, like that energy on hiding it, pivotal to making it grow. Okay. All those preachers who end up in bed with boys because they sat there and they tried to hide versus allow, versus use and transmute that energy. That's why, that whole Me Too movement with people, or even like, people, there's so many examples out there now. But you could indeed, Beyonce could have said, oh, is it 1 o'clock? Beyonce could have said, dude cheated on me, I am broken. Yes, I have to do my affirmations. Dude cheated on me, I am broken. I don't want to tell anybody about the children that I've lost. I don't want to tell anybody. I feel like this is all on me. She could have done that, right? She could have taken that time and decided to go wild and but instead she created lemonade. She literally took the lemons and made lemonade. It's that type of ideology. Taylor Swift the same way. People know Taylor is not, she's kind of like me with the, but again, eighth house Chiron, right? She's kind of like me with the relationships, right? When they're great, but then when they're not, you know what I mean? Okay. So she takes that, she puts it into her music, and then she creates music that resonates with people, who understand what's going on. It's that type of thing. You don't hide it. You know what I mean? We don't spend our energy hiding it. Okay, so we're putting it out there. And how are we finding it? We're working it. Um, we're making it. Comedians, comedians. That's basically their bread and butter. Taking the shadow, putting it out there. Okay. When we see things like America deciding we're not a racist country, we're going to just go ahead and ignore all of that. This is when we see the shit that we have right now. Okay, it's a result of hiding, trying to hide that shadow, trying to ignore it, trying to deny it. You know what I mean? So bam, now it has to come out. It just has to come out. You don't want that. You want to control it. You want to make it a part of who you are. Am I a mean person? Depends. Maybe. I don't know. Some people gonna say I'm mean? Maybe. I don't know. I'm a hermit. You know what I mean? So when I'm going to talk to people, I might talk a lot. Why? Because, now I'm a hermit. But I know that I'm a hermit. So I'm, kind of okay with it. You know what I mean? The journaling, very important. Working through, asking those questions that you don't want to really ask, but that need to be answered. Ask those questions, especially to yourself. And then go back and read those answers. See if they still work. Okay? A year, 5 months, 2 months, whatever, if you've seen that answer and you're like, oh, I used to think that. Yo, I can't believe I used to think that I was going to be like, I was going to die if anybody found out that I cheated on so and so, Now you own it, right? You might even own that cheating as a way of, hey, I have needs. I deserve to be met. And I'm looking for people or a person, either way, that is going to meet those needs. So this is what I do. You see what I'm saying? We take those and we work through them, and they become a part of our life, and they become a part of who we are, and they make us a more authentic part of a version of ourselves. And that authenticity is where our superpower comes in, because now we're using our energy to hide all of that shit over here. We're using our energy to move forward, to find the next step on the path, the gold on the road, right? We are creating the life that we want. You see what I'm saying? Hey, Holly. We are creating the life that we want because we're not busy focusing on this shit right here. And when you're focusing on it, it's going to grow. We don't want that. We're creating. We're moving forward. That's what we're doing. All right. So with that being said, yes, again, I have the sound bath this Sunday. I will be doing updates to what is going on in the compound over across the way. This Thursday or Friday is the end of the giveaway. So if you wanted the bowl, or if you wanted the full Divine Path reading, which is valued at $215, do not let me get you wrong, okay? Don't get me wrong. Or the full moon bowl, the drawing will happen after 4:28 p.m. on the 15th. I think that might be Friday. Full moon. Okay. Once, if you've gotten your drawings in, your entries in, which means that you've entered, through your email, you got the extra entries for finding the YouTube channel, and you got the extra entries for liking the Instagram post or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. I promise. I don't know what it was. We were just making this shit up when we did it. I don't know what it was. But if you did it, Friday after 4:30, we will be doing the drawing. Okay. So that's that. I'm excited. My birthday is coming up. I believe I'm turning 50. I could be wrong. I could be 48. I could be 49. I don't know. But it's Friday, I think, or Thursday. I don't know. It's coming up. Okay. So wish me happy birthday. That'd be great. If you get to this far and you've watched the replay that's on YouTube, and you get this far, just say happy birthday, Asia. I would love that. That lets me know you got this far in the replay. The replay will be on YouTube sometime tonight. I don't know how that all works. That's magic. I don't deal with that, but it'll come up. I think that's it. Hey, girlfriend, you need to prep me that you were on. Oh, next Monday. I will be back, Holly. I will be back next Monday. Okay. Because I've been on for an hour and 4 minutes, and YouTube don't like that when you do that. Okay. So until next time, I'm Asia, the Soulful Creatrix. Shadow work has been fun. I love it. Y'all spoke to my inner Scorpio. I'm here for it. Find me if you need me. You know how to find me. It's all in the description. It's all over the email. It's all in everywhere. Okay. I'm wishing you nothing but love and peace and thank you. She wished me happy birthday, but did. Okay.